You can see how much we prepared for this final battle, and oh boy, he's going way over the top of what I thought he will go for Dimir. You will love this play. You will absolutely love this play. I know what will happen, and it might be even material for a scoop when he sees the play. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we have a lot to talk about in the intro, so don't you dare skip it, because we need to, point a few things out before you see the game. First, the game you will see, the first one, will have a really slow build-up. But I'll tell you, this will be the grand final. Like, this battle will be legendary, and it will be like, there will be a huge plot twist, alright? I'm not spoiling it, but you will know when you see it. So first, bring some popcorn, and I think you will have a great time there. But, it will be a slow build-up, like a movie. So, what about this deck? What you are seeing in front of you? Well, we could say that it's a tournament deck, because that was the original idea. I took one of the tournament decks from, some event, and I went with best of one with this. And I got absolutely destroyed, so I was either scrapping the deck or rebuilding it. And what you see in front is the rebuild version of this deck, and this one performed way better in best of one. So there will be a lot of action, a lot of plot twists. I hope you'll have a great time today. So let's go into action and enjoy. On the draw with absolute losing hand. Great, thank you Schaffer, for that one. I think we need to get rid of Deadly Cover-Up, because we only have place for one sweeper, and we need to win the game on this one sweeper. So very rough situation. We are already super behind by, just the shuffler things, but maybe we can recover. It's kinda crazy because nobody played the card and I'm already super behind. But okay, now our opponent is behind because he didn't play a land. So yeah, he's not getting the value he wants. Let's see if we can hit a blue land and be ahead. I mean, that's still a land, I'll take it. Not exactly what I had in mind. We can play this one on this turn. We'll try to draw into the blue mana. Like, we cannot counter spell anything, and if that's any kind of control deck, we really need to have our counter spells open. And this is okay. Like, if they want to ramp, we need to allow it. This is the right. Oh, this is important. Oh boy. Alright, we will need our counter spells, and we need to be careful of Cavern of Souls. We have to. I guess it's not the worst, but with double blue mana, I think we don't have luxury to get more lands. Alright, very scary. So this is a huge turn. If our opponent can punish us for not being able to counterspell, that's huge. If he can, that's okay. So I won't do anything just to not trigger his main play. Because if he doesn't know we have no counter spells. We have Demolition Fields against the Cavern of Souls. But we need to play it smart still. It could be a Fountainport, let's go. So I'm ignoring this one forever. And now this is the first turn in the whole game when we are ready with counter spells. And we are popping off. Now our opponent is in some serious trouble. He still has, 7 cards, so this will be a worthwhile fight. Sure. But we can start punishing him super hard. I'm honestly considering making a treasure here. Like, mana is everything in this kind of situation, and late game we can always, sacrifice treasures for extra cards with Fountainport. Alright, so what do we go for? I will need so much mana on one of the turns. Let's go. Never done before. I think we did it like once or twice. As that Demolition Field, not yet. I think our opponent might be a little bit scared. What do we need so much mana for? So he will be a bit more careful than usually, and maybe he will be reluctant to make his big plays into this. Sure. Like, we could kill it at every turn, but it's not worth our mana. I don't think there are any instant spells, right? That are huge. So I think we can just tap fully at every end step. Man, this mana is huge. It will be so useful at some point. Alright. Alright, now we are starting to do stuff. And by doing stuff, I mean pass the turn, because we will be playing at the end step, so as a Dimir controller you generally don't want to play anything main phase, basically ever. And as you can see, we are ignoring this frog for so many turns and we are just at 15. And now we can start to do stuff. And we will be drawing into a lot of counter spells. I want a land for the next turn. So we will tap heavier than normally. The taps are super wrong. I should never tap like this. And we go Demolition Field and let's go this. I need to get into one land. I need to keep playing land every single turn. That's super important. We're as tapped as possible. And we still have a mana to counter spell. So I've seen their, the Carnosaur. This is probably one of their big plays. So deadly cover-ups will be super important. And this is awkward, isn't it? Can I please draw my lands? 9 cards, but none of them is a land. Are you serious, bro? This is so bad, man. Alright. You won, Shuffler. I'm wasting value. You won. So this was really bad for us. We were really ahead and we were popping off, and this is a big, oopsie basically at this point. That really hurt us. We also needed to tap mana main phase, which is not something we like. We are one land behind, which means that our opponent is, developing and we aren't. And now we need... I'm making more. I won't get mana screwed, one way or the other. And we need as much mana. If I had, for example, 15 mana, I would just play Teferi, protect it and win the game. And we are just working toward this goal slowly but surely. Alright, a land. Huge. Especially with Surveil. A Fountainport is great. With Fountainports, every turn you don't get killed, you get advantage. That's why we can play so, passively, because we are getting more and more value, and we have like 8 counter spells in the deck. The only thing we need to be careful is Cavern of Souls. Smart. Smart. But we can get the full value from this nearly. Do we have the mana? See how threatening those are? And I think I will just allow this to be burned. Yep. So our opponent is getting a little bit of value. They want to tap us so we don't counter their big spells. Like, they have probably like 4 7-drops in the hand. And they know this is threatening. With double Fountainport we can do it even faster. And with things like 3 steps ahead, like, your value is basically infinite as long as you have mana to cast it. It's too early for Teferi. It's too early. Like, we need way more mana. Oh, I don't remember how many we have. This is a big card. I think we go with Shelly because this is kinda Sheoldred, right? We can always bring it back. And our opponent is like, what? What? We need to make those treasures. It's a, if you are patient, you will win this game. If you just rush it, there is a chance that you won't. And let's make a fish. We want to be super aggressive right now. And we'll make a 1-1 that will finish the game in 19 turns. That's the play. Still no lands, huh? Still no lands. I think this might be the turn for Teferi. It will be hard. So 5 mana is Teferi. Then we have 4, 6. Yeah, we need this one land. We need 7 at least for double counter spell. So that means Go for the Throat has to go. And I know it can be funny that we are playing so passively, but our opponent is basically in the grinder, and every turn, like, he's closer and closer to being crushed. So you don't really need to, force them. Especially that we have Jace. Here's the lockdown, alright. They're really smart with their resources. But they're not getting too much of it. Let's float some mana. And I don't need more cards right now. So they get only fish. And now we use this to treasure, so we still get 2 treasures. They're using cards to fight our lands. That's always situation you want to be in. And we have enough mana, so if they use the remaining mana to cast a big spell, we still have counter spells. And now, you can see that we are fighting for mana right now. And this has been the weirdest and most fun game ever. Like, it's so fun to just fight on this kind of gameplay, instead of just, are you first or second? So, yeah, our opponent is slowly getting out of resources. They already got 2 lockdowns, they probably won't be able to do it again. And if we get to serious mana, so we can, so basically I want 40 mana. He is persistent, that's the 3rd lockdown. Sure. So I need, you know, 5 mana, 4 and 5. That's the play. And every time they need a card to just prevent this ramping up. Alright, they will probably pass the turn, we get another, and I mean, at some point they won't find a lockdown. And then we are starting to go ahead more and more. If I had mana, I would win this game already. And this is a very bad card. Alright, so we discard this one. And let's see what our opponent... Man, this has to be the most patient game, but you will see, we will win it this way. They have no way. And see, this is their average card, it does absolutely nothing. Especially that it searches for basic, so even Cavern cannot be found with this one. And that's most of their deck. They only have few relevant cards and all you need to do is counter them. We have 8 counter spells in the deck, so as long as we keep having counter spells and mana to cast them, we are winning the game. Moment we play Teferi, we can actually lose. And if we get 3 mana a turn, in one of the crucial turns we are winning super hard. Alright. Land is actually really good here. Alright, so can we go for Teferi? We can go 5 mana, then we have 9 mana. Alright, that's the first Teferi. Or maybe we just start with Shelly. They have damage base removal. So let's go Demolition Field, Painland, and double black. Man, we are so aggressive right now. So it will die, but it will start draining their resources. And we have so much mana that we can still, you know, keep doing stuff. What, we have 10 mana right now. Helix, see? This is already 2 cards just for Shelly. I could even counter it, but it's not worth it. Yep. Exile effect, sure. Good for them, good for them. See? Suddenly, we still have all the cards. We have double Fountainport, so we can basically draw like 2 cards a turn every time. And they're down to 5 cards. It will continue until they lose. Like, you need to start disarming them. The only threat is Cavern of Souls. Because that will prevent the whole, you know, counter spell plan. But then with Demolition Field, and we can even deadly cover up to get rid of all the caverns from the deck. So he will get 1 spell this whole game. Here's the Carnosaur, see, they're going on the offensive because we tapped main phase, see? That's their moment. Counter, draw. And that's why we were preparing the whole game. If you can get like this, you know, trade like this, you are so ahead. And I think they don't have more. So we are on the safe side, but they cannot even match this. Alright. Alright. We could go with Teferi, but they will probably kill it. I think they can kill it. And don't forget, every time we can always refill back to 7 with the Fountainports. We can sacrifice those treasures, so they're like clues basically. Here it comes, the second huge card. And we will counter... what was the tap? Let's manual tap this one. Let's not lose due to the tapper. Alright, we counter it. That's their second big spell. Oh, and I think they are running out of them. So, let's draw a card. Now we don't need too much mana, we need resources. So now, see, we were preparing exactly for this. Imagine if we didn't have all of this. And they're running out of threats. I need a counter spell, by the way. Not a counter spell. I think they might not have anything for the Virtue. I don't have counter spells, so that's a little bit scary. So the play is just to slam this. We didn't want to tap Fountainports, but it's okay. We could even go Shelly on top of this, but I will wait with some removal. I want to have some interaction. We can draw cards, we can make a blocker, we can use Bitter Triumph. This will be something that will go through, sure. They will get it for one turn, right? But is it from the graveyard too? From your hand. It's a golem, so Triumph will still hit it. Alright, show me. Oh, and they draw a card. That's important. But we have Virtue, and I hope, and I think they won't be able to answer it. Well, this is a creature, isn't it? Isn't that a creature? With Atraxa, see, that was something we were preparing for. Alright, so they will draw a lot of cards here. Definitely a very strong offensive, but we are getting Atraxa. They don't have the counterplay, so I don't think we need to do anything here. We will get Atraxa as well on the next turn, so we both... And we have Jace and they don't. And I think this is how we win the game. We'll just keep trading cards like crazy. And you see, we were preparing for this game, like this final battle, for like 10 first turns. But if you weren't prepared, you would get crushed by this play. Another Nexus of Becoming. I mean, they're doing 3 cards a turn, so just making sure we don't have Jace in the graveyard, right? Alright, I got scared for a second. Alright, but this is the end step. So, they don't have Atraxa in the graveyard, so let's make sure they do. I actually... Oh man, this is a hard choice. I think I want to discard a card. Like, our life total is a little bit, you know, low. Do I want the card? I will get Atraxa. So I think the mana is more important. Here she is. See, our Atraxa deck. Let's get the Jace. Are you here? No. Alright, so... Demolition Field? Not really needed. Let's go. How much mana we have? Pretty balanced, but let's go for the island. So, island. Counter spell. And Shelly. Alright, that's a decent, you know, play. And we have more counter spells. We play the land. Yeah, we need so much mana on this turn. I cannot use Atraxa, unfortunately. They can play theirs, but we will start to counter everything they do. Maybe we go just Shelly? It's just 4 mana, so I think it's good enough. Yeah, it's also a blocker if we really have to. Alright, so we have a lot of life thinkers, but we need to keep, you know, survive. They can use double Nexus. Helix, absolutely, my friend. You never counter the first one, even if you have a counter spell. As a rule. And we're getting it anyway. I think we still have 1 Shelly in the graveyard. Or even 2, so we don't really care. Right? Yeah, they will get their Atraxa. We cannot prevent it, because they can use Nexus of Becoming. But we're closer and closer to getting Jace. And when they're at 15 cards, we just mill them. That's the play. And I don't think they will be able to kill us. But you can see how much we prepared for this final battle. And oh boy, he's going way over the top of what I thought he will go for. We can also get more Atraxa. Because we can make a copy of a creature we control like Atraxa. What? Cornucopia. Alright, that's the first one. I've never seen this. We can also use triple reef for the mill. Yep. Still, whatever they cast, it can be countered. Oh, I didn't see this one. And Smuggler's Surprise. Like, their deck is absolutely over the top, and we need to actually buffer all the punches they are going for, and we need to, you know, overpower them, which will be a hard thing. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, and your library, put any number of dinosaur cards into battlefield. Well, scary. That's for sure. The next one will be A bit awkward. That's for sure. No lands. We can get them to lower cards if we want, but 20 shouldn't matter, right? It's 15 plus 4. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Does it have trample? This one has. Oh, they didn't take those? I don't know. Whatever. Let's go for the treasure token. Because as you can see, we need as much mana as possible on basically every turn. Maybe let's go for one blocker. Because we don't have anything except Atraxa on the ground. We need to lifelink back to 20, but it's not enough probably. Alright, is that Tyrant? Yeah, Tyrant is just so strong here. And we can start making copies of Tyrant. Yep, life gains. Land is actually really nice here. 2 lands is definitely not nice. Alright. Alright. First we attack with Atraxa and see what happens. Don't forget he has this and he will cast it at the end step, so we need one counter spell just for this. Killing us from 23 is not as easy. Interesting decision. Interesting decision. Oh right, Death Touch. Right, I kinda forgot about it. I'll be honest, I forgot about it. So, what do we go for here? I think we will just keep copying Tyrants if we have to. I think that's the play. We have the fish, so they actually need to rework for, you know, for going through our defenses. I don't think they can. And I don't remember, I think the, you know, the copied version still has 7 mana value, so lockdown shouldn't hit it, but I'm not sure. Alright, my friend, you like those lockdowns, huh? I mean, do I counter it? No. I don't think I do. You can see how big of a threat this is. They actually played the whole thing just to get rid of this. Yep, they are not losing anything. We are losing the fish, but if they want to cast anything before the combat phase, which is the main thing, like they need to kill us very quickly. And we are getting Atraxa on the next turn, so we will hit the Jace probably. Alright, do I want a blocker here? Sure, I'll take it. You like my fish, huh? So we basically invested 1 land and we have a fish. And they still need to cast spells into our counters first. Alright, let's prepare. This will hurt. This will hurt. Yeah, if we are smart, we play Jace and we attack with the Reef and they should die. Hopefully. Oh, no creatures? Oh boy, I think he's falling off. With this, I think we should be winning. Alright. Let's get rid of one of the untapped lands, maybe. Why we are doing it? Because I need him to get as little cards in the library as possible. It shouldn't matter, but it might matter. And you know, if he has no basics, we can even hit it, but he should, right? I see double plains, double forest, and 1 mountain, so he might have 2/2. 18 cards, down to 17. Man, what a game! It started so slow, and now you have the, you know, the cool part of the whole thing. Yep, he took the card. Do I want the treasure? I think I do. I really want those treasures. Like, I'm actually starved for mana right now. My turn. And now we get the Atraxa. Here she is, my favorite card of my Dimir control deck. And oh boy, we are doing. I think my opponent thinks that we will mirror ourselves. What he doesn't know is that there is a Jace somewhere. Apparently not here. Alright, alright, so Spellgyre. Probably Virtue. Let's go with the Reef and the Sorcerer. That's everything, right? We will definitely have a lot of stuff here. I don't know what I will go for, to be absolutely honest, but we are at 29. Yep, man, the value we are getting is incredible. I guess I will just play another Jace. I think that's the play. Like, I will wait one turn so we can get the Jace. So, let's go Virtue. We get rid of Cornucopia first. Then I will probably kill this and try to start being aggressive to force him into some bad place. Yep, our opponent learning from us. So I could be aggressive with Reefs. And don't you worry, we are winning this 100%. But it's only 12 cards, so it's not really worth it. I don't want to tap out because, yes, it will be aggressive, but we can die due to this. So it's not an amazing play. The most aggressive play right now would be to cast 3 steps ahead, copy Atraxa, try to find Jace and win the game on the spot. And I think it could work, but I don't think we need to do it. But this is the play I would honestly make if I was in a tournament or something. 4, so one more. Land is nice. Land is actually nice, but we can always use treasures for it. We want options more than the mana. Alright. And they need to kill us from this spot. You know, we have 7 in lifelink, so we are basically at 34. We are getting Virtue of Persistence at Atraxa every single turn, and they can do absolutely nothing about it. We have to kill our Atraxa, but I will just cast 3 steps ahead at the end step, if they do nothing. Then we get new Atraxa, she's ours, and then she enters the battlefield. We draw from 8 cards, so even if Jace is like in bottom 10 cards, we should hit it. Alright, Nexus, they're also drawing 3 cards a turn. Man, what a game. When I queued into the ladder, I didn't expect this, I'll tell you, man. Yep, more Cornucopia. And as you can see, they just cannot really do much about it. And we will go with this one. And let's see what I think it might be Helix. So we will draw more cards. He doesn't know that he's basically fighting against Leafar right now. Absolutely, my friend. So we are getting more value, which brings us closer to getting Jace. Like, he thinks that we need to kill him. In reality, he needs to kill us. All we need to do is defend and we win. Artifact, right? Still, it's a token artifact creature golem. Of course it is. I think we go treasure. 3 steps ahead, and we copy this. I could also draw cards, but I don't want to invest too much mana. Let's see. If they kill it, we get the new one with Virtue. And I will actually keep the original. And here it comes. And with this, we should be able to get Jace, play it, and win the game. Where are you? Am I missing something? Is Jace really at the bottom 3 cards or something? Come on. Did I miss it? No, there is Jace there. It's just super shy. Alright, so this is an instant. And I mean, let's go Demolition Field because reasons. And no source. Alright, I mean, I will play this game if we have to. But okay, that's a little bit weird. Listen. If that's the play, we will go for it. So I'm killing my own Atraxa that will go to their graveyard. So I can draw Jace finally in bottom. So I'm drawing 1 card and getting from... Oh no, it's top 10, right? Is it top 10? Yep. So that means we are getting selection from our whole deck. And that should be enough to win the game. Please, Atraxa, get me the winning card. I need it at some point during the game. What an absolute special game. Wait, what? Wait. Wait, what's going on? Where is my Jace? Did I remove it or something? What? Don't tell me I put it in the sideboard. Okay. My whole play was about hitting Jace, by the way. Alright, so I think we're changing the strategy, I guess. Well, this is awkward. No way, man. No way, I don't have Jace in the whole deck. This is crazy. Alright, guys, so we are playing completely different then. And that means... I'm not sure how much removal he has. So we are going for 2-turn lethal. Completely different strategy. And we go for Reef. 4 cards. And I think another one. We should have enough mana. Alright, so we go for huge damage, I think. The mill should be the winning play, but I will still go with the Tyrant anyway. But that's completely not how I thought the game will go. Alright, they will try to kill the Reefs because they are the win con right now. Alright, I told you we will win, but I need to check the deck. Man, where's my Jace? Where is my Jace? Alright, we're going first and we have some nice tools for our opponent. I still think we'll go with the Tapland. It's not the worst, but I will risk it. If I get mana screwed, that won't look so hot, but we generally should be drawing, you know, land every 2 turns. Alright. I see some potential here. We don't have double black for Eclipse. We only have this one Disfigure and one 3 steps ahead. And we need to, you know, get work. Alright. So we are not reacting to this. Smite. So it's a half aggro, half control deck. Alright, got it. This will deal some damage, but it's not super important. This is kinda big deal, man. They have caverns, so we need to be focused on the removal side. Yep, I will take it. So our gameplay is try to keep everything pretty low. Man, this is good, so I can disfigure a big target, so this will be a full sweeper probably. Go for it. Because they have caverns, we need to play differently. This is not quick enough. They need better stuff. I will play this. I could play Shelly. But they seem to be running removal spells. Huh. We can go with Fountainport. We can try to counter something. I want to drop Shelly later, when I know that she will survive. Right now I think it's just, you know, a Fountainport threat, so they need to do something on this turn. I will take the damage, it's fine. The advantage you get from knowing the full turn is huge. And now the Scoundrel, like, it's basically ended. So you know that 4 damage was everything he got. And now we have 5 mana for a good 3 steps ahead. The fish needs to be on the defensive, alright? This is a defensive fish, as you can see. The aggressive fish is completely different. It has red water and red scales. So yeah, just a completely different species. And it has aggressive 1/1 instead of defensive 1. So, he wants to get a very good value here. We will have to counter the equipment they will take, so it's better to get rid of the Kellan as well. And yeah, this also means we kinda man, I'm always impressed how aggro players find a way to waste their cool stuff. So they got uncounterable cards and they still found a way to make it counterable. It's impressive, man. I think one the Lee cover up can go. And if they play something small, torch the tower. So it's an aggro deck, just not a great one. I think this is Teferi, right? And we will disfigure the Scoundrel. Let's keep drawing cards. I don't want to get too low loyalty because they have a lot of cards that deal 2 damage. Or 3. So I want to force them to get Scoundrel to 5 or just invest like 3 cards here. Alright, you know what? I can respect that. I can absolutely respect that. Is that something with haste? I hope it won't have hexproof as well. Alright, man, I got scared because he can take anything from the hand and I cannot really respond easily. Let's go. I mean, we are killing stuff. But I will go with Bitter Triumph, so that means I can use this on Scoundrel. Because we are getting card advantage right now with Teferi, with 2 Teferis. So we can play a very different game. And now I don't fear losing Teferi if I have to. I also have Deduce to mitigate the damage. So I think we win with this, because if he targets this for 2, we just Deduce in response and it has higher toughness. This is not good enough. They need to use this mana on this turn. By the way, they already used Uncountable thing on Scoundrel, so I don't think that was the best play. And you can see that those cards look nice, but suddenly they are not an aggro deck anymore. Like, they are not aggro deck and they are not control. They are losing in value to control and they are not quick enough to kill a control deck. So yeah, that's why you don't mix those types. I don't think the rest of the deck makes some sense, but Scoundrel is just really bad here. Alright, yep. And our opponent just realized why you don't make half control, half aggro decks. We at least need to draw 2 lands, so we can Spellgyre into new stuff. You know what, it's not a land, but it's probably the second best thing, so I will take Deduce. Deduce is very nice, it also gives us potentially an extra draw. Alright, so Lizards. We don't have too much time. The problem is that this will be harsh. I really want to hit a land. I don't. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shuffler, for being merciful today. I think I have to just, you know, go for the throat, and we need to do it main phase. Otherwise, we are losing life, which will trigger all the lizards. Here, they need like a landfall lizard, otherwise they cannot trigger the ability, so we will slow them down a bit. Normally I would ignore the first one, it has 2 toughness, so it dies to Eclipse, but the next lizards will have better toughness because of the +1/+1 counter, and we probably won't hit them with Eclipse. Go for it, my friend. See how much they needed to invest just to trigger this, you know, life loss, and this is the perfect Eclipse target. Just play something with 2 toughness and you can wrap this game. Oh man, I love this card. I actually wanted to make a deck with it. So, still a very, very awkward turn for us because I really need to keep hitting lands. So we use our small sweeper. I really hope he cannot refill. We know he doesn't have 2 drops, right? Because he would play them. Like, the 2 drop was better than this. Is that the new card? Potentially. I think that was the new card. So they can cast it on the next turn. How do you work? Non-combat damage, any source. Alright, so this is a very awkward situation, right? I guess I could try to go Deadly Cover-Up on the next turn. I get some damage. I can count. Okay, I think with this, we probably want to Spellgyre it. If they go for it. So they need a land, they go this, and they only have 1 more card. And you know, I'm at 13. Ah, smart. A little smarty, are we? Alright, so if they make more lizards, we sweep. If they don't, if they go for it, we counter. Yep. Like, I cannot risk it. They have so much stuff that, you know, does those things. Like, their whole deck is basically lizards trying to deal damage to my face. This figure is pretty amazing here, honestly. I tell you, man, if you get good draws, this is such a, you know, game changer. Down to 8, but I think we can stabilize and we can always get Teferi into Shelly. And now we have go for the throw. I really think this is not the creature, but let's see it. Alright. So they want to cycle card. We need to not allow it, down to 7. They cannot activate this one. No way, what? Is that a lizard? Insect. Oh, it just costs more. Alright, alright. We missed the land because we are really bad at magic. And I'll be honest, this is a disaster. I need to draw land. I need to draw land or removal. Okay, tap land. So, alright, so we might die to this because I cannot target it, and unfortunately they don't have cards that, you know, like if they drew a creature, it would actually be better for us. 2 damage acquired. Not amazing. Not amazing for sure. Yep, you can activate it twice. So, what is the play? We have to go Teferi. And I mean, we have to draw the card, right? If they draw... Man, this would be so close. So I can go with... Wait, 3. If they draw a land, they double activate those. If I make a spirit, I lose Teferi, but I get time. And I can double block with Reef. Alright, let's go. And they need to waste some damage on Teferi, which they don't want to do. They have shocks in the deck, don't forget. 3 shocks there, at least. They might even play more. So Menace, so we still cannot block. And let's see where the 2 damage goes. Okay, I kinda needed this. They can cycle. Good cycle for them. So they didn't want to activate the second event. Because they could. And yep, they needed to declare... So for example, if they have a buff spell that would kill us, they already declared attack on Teferi. It felt like a buff spell. You've seen this awkwardness of, oh no, I could do so much more. But, you know, we will see. It's still not over, absolutely not over. Let's, you know, clog them a little bit, but it's not the main thing, it's just free, so why not? It was probably something, but it can always be the event, you know? You can never, you don't know, basically. We have 2 creatures, but if we activate the Reef, they can use removal. So far they didn't have removal. At least not too much. But it's very hard to tell, man. I need to try, and I think it won't work. But if it does, we solve a big problem. Right? If that's a buff... Okay. Perfect, man. That was an interesting play then. Flint. Perfect. So they're really using their mana to nice advantage, but they don't know that our hand is perfectly prepared for this. Very good tap, and we don't want Painlands here. We cannot block. Oh man, you will love this play. You will absolutely love this play. I know what will happen, and it might be even material for a scoop when he sees the play. Especially that we cannot counter anything. Alright. You know you want to go with defense, right? They can still activate it, right? This is a good card, but it's uncounterable. Alright. We will get them, right? They are going for defense. Yes, yes they will. We will wait until they tap. Oh man, you will love it. You will absolutely love it. Sure. Let's. You want to trigger this so they don't have full information. And here's the copy. And suddenly we have 2 blockers, and they are really cool creatures. We still lose one of them, unfortunately, but it's worth to get rid of this huge problem. Like, this menaced us for... yeah, menaced for such a long time. And that means, so they cannot deal damage directly. They cannot. So what we will do is attack them here. We cannot kill them on this turn, so we need to prepare a counter spell, make sure that we don't get hit by anything, and I think we win. I think we win. And you can see, like, this token really does work, man. 2 cards. One of them could be a land. So they will deal damage. I mean, of course, uncounterable. Silly me. Why do I even consider control having control over the game? They could use the village, by the way. But I guess they don't want to attack. So what is the play? 3 and 3. Man, this is so perfect. Oh, I need one more, right? Or is it good? Is it good? 6? Yep. And now we get first the token, then we draw in total 3 cards, so this is 8-8, and this will be like 5-5 or something, and then we swing all and they die. Alright, that was a sweet lethal. Alright, we are going first, which normally is great, but this hand is so incredibly slow. If we can interrupt them on turn 3, I hope it's enough to deadly cover up whatever is coming for us. Like every time I see, you know, the start of the game are already count lethals. This is crazy, man, how aggressive Standard is. Alright, Simic so far. So they have a lot of lands, that's for sure. Let's see if they counter this. If they even have the chance to counter it. Not sure, maybe. Or maybe they just ignore it. Let's go for blue mana. Honestly, the draw is really good against anything but aggro. It might be a ramp deck. It feels like a ramp deck. Let's see if they have 5 colors for Atraxa or just Simic. So against this type of slower deck, we should have insane advantage. Titanias. Oh man, she usually is like a main engine for every deck she's in. I think I waste one of the counter spells. I'm not sure if I have to counter her, but I have a bad feeling that bad things will happen if I don't. They might have another, in which case I think we will allow it. So a little bit scary so far, but yeah, we are making some progress. We need to be careful. I wasted 2 cards with this. Oh, the Analyst deck. That's what you are. Alright. Alright. Okay, 1 land. So it's like a ramp deck. And this is hard to predict. Alright, another land. Good for them, good for them. If we draw a removal right now, we can just kill Analyst because they went the greedy road. Assuming we cannot do anything about it. So we are not going for the fish, which normally is something I would do. And we are trying to hit removal. See? And thanks to this, we are able to. So we go Fountainport, this, we kill the Analyst before they can use it. And we force them in kinda the same situation they were in. However, if we want to counterspell, we are not getting the extra value, so we really don't want to do it. Alright, passing the turn would be great. Okay, okay. How much mana? I think we need to keep the 3 steps ahead, so let's go for this. This improves the next draw. And then we go directly from 5 to 7. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We could try to go for Deadly Cover-Up route and just exile the Analysts, but it's very extreme and not really needed. They can actually start attacking us with the Vinestalk. But I guess we can trade the Reef into it if we really have to. And let's start with the fish. Treasure is okay as well, but I think fish is a little bit better. It gives us protection for Teferi as well. I don't know what their hand has, because I could cast Virtue and we would get the Tyrant on the next turn. The problem is that they might play... With green there's a lot of enchantment removal, so I don't think it's a great play. I mean, we can always draw a land if they activate the Vinestalk. And it's a huge risk, because if we have go for the throw, they are losing the land. Only 23. They are basically dead at this point. Alright, they have the Citadel, so it's 2 mana. Yep. Let's see how many counters. 3. Why 3? What did they see? Jace is 4. Alright, here's the Tyrant. Definitely, absolutely perfect target. And let's go for some extra cards. Yep, we have only 2 mana, so we cannot go for the third mode, which would also be nice. And they... that was enough. This is possibly the last big spell, I guess. I don't think the game was over. So my plan was to cast Virtue right now and force them to answer it main phase. Alright guys, after you watched all of the games, or at least the first one, now we can tell everything with spoilers, right? Because you have seen it, we won't spoil the fun, so, the Jace was added after that game. Oh my god, this was so embarrassing to realize that I actually don't have Jace. So what is the story? We will talk about in a second, but first, thank you for all the Patreon members. Thank you guys for making hilarious content like this possible and just, having fun on the ladder. Really appreciate it. And yeah, so Jace was added after this game because it was in the original tournament version. I think I removed one of the Jaces and added second Teferi, so I just decided to go without Jace, and oh boy, was it a mistake. So in the end, Jace is just absolutely needed. You need at least one because one means that you are winning in the mail game. So, it's just slower than double Jace, but it's good enough. I still like Teferi in this deck. I think it's a great win con, especially against creature decks, because most of the time they answer either Teferi or the Spirit. And you have seen how Spirit can be absolutely threatening, and the huge deal is that this has Vigilance. That means it puts extremely quick clock on your opponent while also defending you, with probably more stats than your opponent can handle, so even red decks with buff spells usually don't have an easy time going through the Spirit. So I think it's a nice addition. It's a little bit slow, but if you can set it up, it usually wins you the game. Yeah, so I added Jace in the end. You have also seen the sideboard. The original version had the full sideboard, but we switched so many cards that I just removed it in the end. This was the Tidebinder deck, so we originally played 2 Tidebinders, but I've noticed that the card doesn't do too much, even if you counter some effect from mono red. They just run through you. I died to a literal land today with the first version of the deck because I was at 1 life. I had absolutely 0 life gain in the whole deck, and that they just played Desert that deals 1 damage. I had counter spells, but you cannot counter a land. So after that, some Sheoldreds were added and some Virtues were added, so at least we have some, extra life gain. Especially Sheoldred, Teferi, and Spellgyre has really nice synergy altogether, and you have seen that Fountainports basically are enough to, make sure that you have a game-deciding mana advantage and card advantage if you need it. So really cool card, probably my favorite land from, okay, I would say last set, but that's the only one, right? So obviously it's favorite. But generally it feels so much better than the Murex because of how versatile it is. And I have some ideas with this one because this is your Cardo, so in a way you don't need other Cardo. You have seen that with Fountainports we can just outvalue most of the decks. One of the good additions for the deck is Deduce. I think I don't play it enough in my Dimir decks, and they really help you in this early mid game that is usually the most problematic. With Eclipse and Deadly Cover-Up on top of all the removals, you should be able to survive against the aggro decks and, just slowly get your advantage with things like Spellgyre, 3 steps ahead, and Teferi, which usually trade at least 2 for 1. And slowly but surely, you grind them out of the cards. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. This was a fun one, extremely long one, but I hope you had a great fun. And yeah, now you know the full story, and I will always keep Jace in my Dimir decks since today. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you had great fun and see you tomorrow.